Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening, everyone. There's developing news out of the University of Tasmania tonight with revelations it's facing significant financial pressure with an up to $74 million hit from the coronavirus. Late today, the Vice-Chancellor flagged a massive cut down in the number of courses it will offer and warned there will be an impact on staffing levels. Now, for more on this story, our reporter Ruby Kamane joins us now. Good evening, Ruby. This sounds massive. Just how much of a shock is this?
Pete, this is the first we've heard of the financial pressures facing the university at the moment, and the situation is very serious. The Vice-Chancellor has sent out a letter to staff saying even the university's short-term sustainability is in question. It's a long way behind in this year's budget. A massive review of course offerings is set to take place with the aim of cutting the number of degrees from 514 to less than 120. That's a 76% cut to course offerings. The university says this is about reducing complexity for students and simplifying its operations. This will mean less staff, although the administration hasn't revealed what that number is. The Vice-Chancellor says he hopes to rely on natural turnover as much as possible, while there is still time to decide on redundancies. Now, the university says it's been facing strong headwinds. These include a decline in the number of school leavers, more competition for international students, and over-reliance on students from China, and now coronavirus. The current financial impact of the outbreak is estimated to reach up to $36 million over the next 2 years, but if a pandemic hits here and local classes are cancelled, that could reach up to $74 million. So it's a bit of a perfect storm for the university. Pete, the administration says it'll hold a series of information sessions with staff beginning tomorrow.
In the wake of Tasmania's second confirmed coronavirus case, safety measures are increasing across the state to further prevent a potential outbreak. Another respiratory clinic has opened to meet rising testing demand, while some schools and churches are changing their regular practices.
Temporary signs lead the way for Tasmanians who fear they have the coronavirus. Hobart's Repatriation Hospital, the base for the state's second respiratory clinic, operating from today.
It's been carefully selected, in fact, just to make sure that people are protected.
It comes after Public Health revealed the state's second confirmed case in Hobart, seeing a rise in the public calling local authorities for testing.
All of our great committed professionals are providing robust advice, and we're following that. If further clinics would be required, we would open them immediately.
We don't need politicians to be talking about what's needed in terms of clinics and testing. We need to hear from doctors. We need to hand that over to those experts who understand what is required, and the government need to be supporting them to put those measures in place.
Public Health says the man who recently returned from Nepal did not comply with self-isolation measures when waiting for test results.
It brings us all to focus on the fact that, look, everyone's health is really important, and so take care of yourself, keep yourself in quarantine.
Public Health has also reported the man attended the Australian Ideal College just before his diagnosis. The campus now shut for the week, with classes available online for deep sanitisation to begin.
But still students concerned about their safety. So by listening to their requirements or their demands, then we brought this action.
Preemptive safety measures also taken up by the state's Catholic and Anglican churches, including suspending or altering communion from the chalice, reducing handshaking and sharing drinking cups.
Those conditions will change as this health crisis continues. We just want to make sure that we're acting in a way that both helps people to be calm but also helps people to be safe.
Anyone with concerns is urged to first contact the Public Health Hotline ahead of presenting to clinics or hospitals. Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
Friends and family have gathered to farewell a man killed in a Huonville crash just over a week ago. Jari Wise died after being struck by a car on Wilmot Road near the high school. Today, loved ones held a service in North Hobart to pay tribute to the 26-year-old. Police say investigations into the crash are ongoing. New research has revealed a shocking surge in methamphetamine use in Tasmania. The report finds consumption of the drug has nearly doubled in just 3 years.
At the Salvation Army, Brad Watson has seen methamphetamine's steady and problematic rise in Tasmania.
To the point where in some localised areas, particularly the northwest, it has tipped the scales and now leads alcohol as a primary drug of choice.
There's now hard evidence to back up what rehabilitation providers have witnessed firsthand. The National Wastewater Drug Monitoring Program, released today, shows methamphetamine use has nearly doubled in the past 3 years, spiking 92.5%, the biggest jump in the country. Cocaine consumption has also lifted by more than 50%, MDMA rising by nearly 80%. But heroin consumption fell over the same period by 15%. City Mission, which runs the drug rehabilitation centre Serenity House on the northwest coast and Missiondale near Launceston, says it too has seen ice become a bigger problem.
There has been a steady climb in the incidence of methamphetamine use in the state from our perspective.
Both City Mission and the Salvation Army say, for the first time, ice has overtaken alcohol as the main addiction on the northwest coast.
There's a whole range of drugs that cause problems from time to time, and so it's interesting that we've got this wastewater treatment, which is really evidence-based that the use is increasing.
Alongside residential rehabilitation, the Salvation Army wants to see more day programs to help people overcome their addiction.
So that people who are at a stage where they can continue working or have other issues to address can still access services.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
It's been the cornerstone of Australia's Antarctic exploration for more than 30 years, and tonight the Aurora Australis is leaving the state to commence its final mission. But with its replacement delayed, the Antarctic Division is having to look for a temporary ship for resupply missions next summer.
It's the end of an era for the Aurora Australis, undergoing final checks before departing for its final voyage this afternoon. After serving the Australian Antarctic Division for 31 years, it is being retired. Its last mission, a 14-day resupply to Macquarie Island.
Today it's taking 58 expeditioners south. They'll be looking to deliver 12 months worth of resupply to the island, which includes over 135 tonnes of cargo.
The vessel has played an important role in Australia's Antarctic exploration, undertaking more than 150 research and supply missions during its service. It has also assisted other countries in their efforts, including recently aiding the French after their icebreaker, the Astrolabe, underwent vital repairs.
It's helped science uncover amazing new information about the role of the Southern Ocean, its food web, and also the science that underpins our efforts in understanding a changing climate.
Its replacement, the Noyena, is nearing completion, but because it won't be ready in time, the Antarctic Division is seeking an alternative ship for the next summer season.
The Australian Antarctic Division has gone out to the market to find an interim vessel with the delays of the Noyena to make sure we've got an interim capacity to keep our stations resupplied over the coming summer.
While this might be the Aurora Australis' last mission, it's not the last chance for people to have a look. She'll be available for tours as part of the Australian Antarctic Festival later this year.
Yeah, I think for people visiting the ship to get up on the bridge, which is really the kind of nerve centre of the ship, and to see where all its operations are controlled from is fantastic. But also to get downstairs on the lower decks and see the laboratories.
Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
A man has been injured in an incident at the Medina Bike Park this morning. The rescue helicopter was called in to airlift the man to the Royal Hobart Hospital with fears of neck and spinal injuries. The health department didn't release information about the patient's condition, but it is believed the injuries were not life-threatening. Medina Bike Park declined to comment. Fresh off their win against the Sydney Swans at Kingston's Twin Ovals yesterday, the North Melbourne Kangaroos remain in the state for their pre-season community camp, visiting community organisations, the children's ward and primary schools, aiming to inspire the next generation of young sporting superstars.
Trading the football field for the classroom, players from North Melbourne joining a Year 5-6 class to talk about the impact individuals can have on climate change. It's school visits like these that the team look forward to in their downtime.
Being footballers, we are role models whether we like it or not, so I think kids you can tell they hang off every word you say, so to start using that in positive ways about really important issues like waste and climate.
All part of the club's pre-season community camp, beginning with a special welcome ceremony at Hobart's Town Hall this morning. The camp all about giving back and giving fans a chance to meet their heroes.
So it's just getting out to the schools, a couple of super clinics, talking about these kind of important issues, but just kind of mingling with the communities and showing our support back, because we get great support from Tassie, and it's a great place for us to come and play.
Players hoping to inspire the next generation of young football fans, whether it's to become waste warriors or future sporting superstars. This afternoon, engaging in a closed visit at the paediatric ward.
We're lucky enough to come along and spend some time in the children's ward and hopefully put a few smiles on some faces of some kids who are potentially doing it a bit tough at the moment, so we're pretty excited.
The events of the community camp described as a vital part of their pre-season preparations.
Last practice game yesterday, which we had a great result. We're ready to go, we're excited. We've have made it through another pre-season, so we're excited for the real stuff to start in about a fortnight.
The team's visit continues with a super clinic at Blunston Arena tomorrow. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, they rarely ask for recognition, but a new campaign is celebrating the thousands of Tasmanian women working as nurses and midwives in our hospitals. Dubbed Tassie Nightingales, the campaign by the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Federation will share positive stories of female workers in the sector. It will also make a financial contribution to the Tasmanian Women's Health Services Encore program.
Which is absolutely fantastic in building the confidence of women who have suffered from breast cancer, and obviously works to empower communities through that support.
The scope of what is a nurse and what is a midwife has evolved a lot over time.
The launch has been timed around International Women's Day and the World Health Organisation declaring 2020 as the year of the nurse and midwife.
And we have some results from the West Coast Classic over the long weekend. Jai Johannesson has continued his dominant form, picking up a 5th title in the Men's Open division at Lighthouse Beach in Marrawar, while Bruny Island's Lizzie Stokely claimed her first crown in the Classic's Women's Open. More than 100 surfers took to the waves at the event, which is now in its 45th year. Fantastic result.
Good evening. 22 was the state's top today at Launceston, a high of 19 across Burnie and Devonport, Hobart 18. 19 about St Helens and Strawn, Smithton a high of 20 and Lowhead and Flinders Island 18. On the close-up, low-level cloud is covering the northeast of the state. Further out shows cloud over Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia with showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Tomorrow the high moves to the east of Tasmania, while low pressure troughs remain about the northwest and east of the mainland. East to northeasterly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots, swells up to 2.5 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart sunny and 22, 23 at Geeveston, Bothwell a sunny 24. In the north a high of 23 across Launceston and Cressy, Devonport a mostly sunny 20. Burnie tomorrow mostly sunny, Strawn 23, sunny and 21 at Curry. St Helens mostly sunny and 22 and sunny across Swansea and Orford. The UV forecast high 7s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Thursday showers developing about the west in the morning, Friday possible thunderstorms about the west and Saturday showers contracting to the southwest during the afternoon. Capital cities 35 and sunny in Perth tomorrow, mostly sunny across Adelaide and Melbourne and Brisbane partly cloudy and 28. And currently Hobart sunny and 16, Launceston 18 and Devonport sunny and 17. That's all in weather tonight, Murph.
And that's all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night.